Now, there's no other better place to be on Monday, the first Monday for the month of November. The year is 2024, the edition of Libhola Eswatini. Hello and welcome. This show, specifically this Monday, the full focus is just to have one-on-ones with some of the, huge figures in the public, or rather in the football fraternity, to start things with. We'll have the Moneni Pirates president, Mr. Moneni Pirates, just to look at the history of the club. They seem to be on the rise. We saw what they did during the 8-Bay trade fair competition. We saw what they are doing currently at the club. In terms of the welfare of the players, it's happening and they are doing quite well. His presence will mean a lot. His explanation, what his vision and what he wants to do for the club. Nearly for the first time in 4 years, Sifang Semnigati are back to winning ways. What is the secret the Croatian Luka Rizoric is using to ensure that we get back to where we belong as a country? Sifang Semnigati, we're talking about the coach. Will be also in the studio. We'll chat with the Croatian to tell us about what he has changed in the national team players after we defeated the Warriors during the CHAN qualifiers. Sit tight, because the entire remaining 55 minutes are going to be very crucial live here on Eswatini TV. Different platforms where you can join us. This is Eswatini TV, Skucha, and YouTube, and other channels that you can use to be part of this conversation. So it's all about discussions. So there were no Premier League games over the weekend. So the full focus is just to also let you know what's happening in local football. That's why we call it Libhola Eswatini. Mr. Moneni Pirates is in the studio, club president, Moneni Pirates. We know what they're doing. Things seem to be going very well. So he's the man behind the success, the current progress of the club. Yes, I know you're not an easy man to get in terms of but I think we've always wanted to know the men behind the brands of Moneni Pirates. But to start with, the supporters, the fans, and football lovers bafuna kwathi ukuthi umbani Thulani Caba. Thalelwa phi ukhulele phi and umbani kahle kahle.
Okay. No, ngithulana ngwakaXaba. Ngikhulele Moneni noma ngidalelwe khona Moneni.
Yes.
And I grew up in the streets of Pansidi, if you want to put it that way. From the Sydney Williams Salesian. And I've always been a Moneni boy. Yeah, this is home for me. Yeah, I'm not outside of any other place. Yeah.
Okay. So you are well known in the Moneni streets. So now happening at
it's my hood. It's a gas.
It's a gas.
Yeah, it's a gas lamb. You can go there anytime.
Yeah. So we are cool at high school. Did you play soccer as a person, just to play ball?
Yeah, I played for Moneni Pirates under 14s.
Okay.
And obviously maybe I wasn't skilled enough to go to the other leagues, but my interests were diverted to other sports. At school, at Salesian, we played tennis. Yeah. Golf is interesting because I was a caddie then.
Okay.
So growing up at Moneni, it's just down the road. So yeah, I used to be a caddie for very good golf players in the kingdom at the time. So yeah.
This is
that's my background.
So now I'm under 14, Mr. Trevor.
Champions League at the time.
Yeah, this is was the logo like this?
No. No, it wasn't like this. Obviously, the Moneni Pirates emblem's always been like that. But we had different kits, support teams. We had a kit, also in Bombi.
Okay.
In Bobby Charity. So we had different kits.
Right.
But as times evolve, we change more so with the certain partners, Labas Joinago, in supporting the team. That is why then you find some people have got different visions on how they'd like to see.
So apart from you, anyone from your family who also who played for Moneni, or a family member who was attached to the Moneni club at some point?
100%. In fact, Moneni Pirates used to be fed from my household. We would go home. Yeah. So singadli ngalokuthi Moneni Pirates uphekela uyodlala. So we were 500 meters away from Gamatsenja, being the founders of the team.
All right.
And we were part of that family where would, before they go for games, sibaphathise, sibaphekele and all that. So yeah, it's in my DNA.
It's my DNA. I'm loving this because now my next question is, during your time, we get to the juicy stuff, to when you become now the club president.
Yeah.
Kulesikhathi sakho na udlala ama-under 14, just to remind the viewer, noma umlandzeli we-Moneni Pirates, bekunabo bani badlala to the senior team that time?
Look, most of the players, some of them may have been late, but at the time you had local resident Moneni players in the senior team then. But obviously we're looking at that. The late media souls rest, but Disco Lukele,
Okay.
but Toch Matlalela,
Okay, Toch Matlalela, yes.
Sylvester, Twala. I'm talking about people that lived in Moneni at the time. Yeah. So then the rest of the other senior players would obviously come from different towns. For instance, we had the late Boy Persnyambi was in Mbaban, may he still rest.
Okay.
And all of those, they built that team. The likes of Pet Nduli. Yeah, it was just a long list. So we were fortunate to grow up in that era where we had those guys that played, that cultured football. Yeah.
So yeah, days went by. That was the end of the journey for you in football. After playing for the under 14s, so what period up? You ventured in other club or played for other, versions?
Personally, no, I never continued with the sport. As I said, I went. Our interest at Salesian, we had a lot of other sports, being your tennis, your basketball, your volleyball. Because during our lunch hours, we would then play sports, but soccer I never pursued.
Okay.
As I say, maybe I wasn't skilled enough. But it's always been in my heart.
In your heart.
And it's the
Beautiful
reason I'm
stuff.
still there. Yeah.
Now let's get to the main aspect, where people now, having known that you've got a background, a blood related to Moneni Pirates brand, let's get to now you've grown up to be who you are as a business person, for what you're doing personally and for the Moneni Pirates side. Yes, I think that's the biggest question. Now, you grow up, you become who you are, you're a business person, you want to take your interest into sports now. What gets you football? Why? Before we get to the club, you could have taken, I think sports and a club, your tennis, normal. Yes, we've seen golf, there's a golf competition, but this time around, why all the full force into football in a football club?
I'm not necessarily focused into football.
Right.
It's just that at this point in time, where I took over the presidents of Moneni Pirates, I've always been there.
Okay.
Just behind the scenes, I think when we launched or when I took over, the former president, being Osborne Zima, did make mention that they've been asking me to take over for the last 10 years, and I've been evasive because obviously I've been pursuing other interests, more into business. But personally, I am into sports. Where there's sports, I support. Be it golf, we've got a monthly golf day, multi-purpose golf day, and Manzini golf course, which has been going on for some time with other sponsors as well that also support Manzini. But with the soccer, we've been there. I've been with Moneni behind and supporting where I could, but I didn't actually held that at the helm.
Bakuconvince nini? Sifika nini isikhathi ukuthi hayi no cha basicela ukuhlala nawe etafuleni sicela ukuthi ubambisane team. When do they come to you and convince you and you agree?
Look, it's been coming. Okay, it's all about the time and maybe the timing. So I allowed the time. Basically, what happened is last season we were fighting relegation, and you've got all the resources that one and the other directors put together for the team, and obviously the president then, being Osborne Zima, spoke to me and said, look, I'm struggling. You told me several times you can't be a part of us because of your work commitments, but this time around begging to just take it for one season. And I knew that that was it. He actually said, this is affecting my health, and I took it personally to say, if somebody then is now affected that way just because of a soccer team, because they always wanted to make sure that Moneni is always there, because we can't run away from the fact that we're talking about one of the biggest team in the country.
Yeah.
So I thought it was time. I'm a leader personally, I'm a winner, and I thought this was the time.
Now, when you say you've taken over, because this is one of the challenges that we have locally. There's an issue of some, they say they are club president, others say I'm the chairperson, labanye kanza ukuthi director. So Sitsi Tulani Kaba is Moneni Pirates president. By president, are we saying you totally own Moneni Pirates?
I'm Ivan Koza.
You're Ivan Koza of Moneni Pirates.
That's it.
So it's in your hands.
That's it.
Okay. We are Tosh.
I work with a team, a board of directors that I've appointed, and then they support more. So it goes back to the former players, and I've got the steward business people within my executive. I've got Leonard friends, attorneys. So we're just a combination of all. But what we've done is I have taken over Moneni Pirates, and that I can boldly say.
All right. From what I've picked, in terms of, the image now, I think we've seen what happened in E8 trade fair. People were happy. After a long time, the image, the brand of the team, stuff like that, at some point. When you took the team, in terms of board of directors, what about Semisan? By the players, what did you sell them as the club president, as the owner, as the Ivan Koza of Moneni Pirates?
Look, first and foremost, we just had to go in and do a scan and get to understand where the problems were.
Okay.
And then start dealing with those problems close by. At that time, I mean, it's a struggle we'll have with all football teams in the kingdom. I think it comes from understanding the team's problems.
Okay.
Then you try and deal with them.
Okay.
So what we picked up there, it's the welfare of the players, it's the technical team, it's the
by welfare, not to rush away. By welfare,
not necessarily welfare is where do these players stay.
Okay.
You've got students. Moneni Pirates is known that it's got youngsters.
Okay.
Where do they go to school? Because you're now working with their mindset. So you need to be strong-minded.
You're a parent.
Basically. So we attended all those issues other than Imiholo. Imiholo is just by depending on what we're talking about, Imiholo. Otherwise, it's just overall welfare.
Okay.
That's it.
For that specific reason, can I big ups to the job you're doing so far? Can I on live on TV congratulate you, because we here at Eswatini TV, we've got close sources to each club in the country. So when there are issues, we're the first people they tell. And since you took over, I know. So things are going perfect.
No, siyabonga.
Yeah.
Siyabonga.
So which means players are being treated well, no complaints.
I'd like to give credit to my team, my executive, the directors. They put their hard-earned resources to make sure that the welfare of this team is at its best.
Okay.
And through their support is the reason we're able to keep it the way that it is. Look, we're talking about 3 months leading to the 4th, so there isn't much that one can think would be an issue. I mean, we got a boost by getting to the finals of the 8-bet, and I thought that also eased.
I remember that night. I think after the final, you joined the players, even though you couldn't get the trophy, but you joined the players, and you were comforting them. Would say, no,
that's the idea. So we need to spread that word to the fans, to the supporters, and the football fraternity at large. Because when you go there, this is a sport. It brings us together, and it's a worldwide sport that brings nations together. And it's very important for us and the supporters and fans to understand that with soccer, you go there, you win. You go there, you draw. You go there, you lose. And it's still the same. So that is what we're dealing with currently. Most of the route, let's get firm and understand what we're about and what we want to achieve. So that's the vision. It's a process.
Yeah, let's get into the vision and unpack it properly, because not so long ago, it's about a month or two, you're part of the, I think, leading initiator to bring former Nigerian striker Yakubu in the country. And I think personally at the airport, when I asked you the vision of the club, you say that in the next 3 years, you want to see this club playing CAF competitions, even on its own, bringing Yakubu, which is something maybe you're trying to see that the players get motivated. But when you talk about the vision of the club, before we head into African competitions and everything, Nasibuga Dakaya, how much do you want the team to be in charge in the next 2 to 3 years in terms of leading, taking trophies and fan base wise?
Look, we're not looking at trophies are always good to have, but that is not our target.
Okay.
Yeah, as I said, we come from we're sitting at the relegation territory, so we are dealing with that first. Okay, what was the problem? What caused that? And then we then deal with it. We need to first and foremost get the team stable, because then they were not going to be shaken by anything that may come our way. So we're dealing with that. Yes, we've given ourselves 3 years. There's a lot that we're dealing with. What we did when we first took over, we dealt with the technical team. We brought in a coach from Ghana.
Apparently, I did have a talk with him. He said, "Wamulanza le eGhana. Bekatihlele ekhaya wathi wathi ukuthi ufuna buyelela ekhaya."
That is correct. Look, as I said, with the previous directorship and with a few advice from other guys that have been there, we looked at the history of his performance, and he was identified to be the ideal candidate. We did 3 interviews with different coaches.
Okay, who are the coaches? Do you care sharing them?
Not for now, because I think confidentiality and for other teams that may have interest in them, maybe it may jeopardize. Why Moneni? Because we capitalized
so
absolutely. So for now, and then he was then the chosen, and we flew him in.
Okay.
And we then now dealt with, as I said earlier, the welfare. It's just to stabilize the team. We brought in different style of training. We just did a complete overhaul.
There's an issue of obviously we've touched about the welfare of the players in terms of salaries. I don't want to go back to it, but when you talk about growing a club, there is what we call attachments. Some club in South Africa, have you built maybe a connection? And then in terms of also issues of facilities, we don't have much of a facility, but can we see maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, Moneni Pirates with their training facility, and maybe there's a club also you are always in touch with? Do you plan on working on that?
Yes, we are working on something to that effect. Part of Yakubu and them coming down.
Okay.
There's a few options we're working on, including a sports academy. Okay. But this is still early for us to discuss it. Also, there's still a lot of processes that we need to go through and run with those. But yes, that's the ideal plan, to have our own maybe football field. Remember now, we're struggling currently with as a country with the soccer stadiums. So you find games within, we get 2 different fixtures because this certain stadium is not available for whatever reason. So that's the long-term plan. But obviously it needs a lot of other stakeholders to participate and get it going. It can't be a one-man show. So I believe in collaborations and working together with the relevant stakeholders, and also the sports fraternity at large. It will be proper for us to develop our own. And it takes us. it's all about what we want. And if we've got a clear vision and we put it together, I think it's possible.
When Yakubu was here, the former Nigerian and Everton striker,
Yeah.
he visited the team training ground, and I think part of the conversation were to say maybe in the near future, 1 or 2 players could get a chance to go see what happens there. How soon could that be in action, to see a Moneni Pirates going all the way to just to be attached to Everton for a few days or anything?
There's work in progress.
Okay.
There are 2 players that have been identified,
Okay.
yet to be concluded. But as part of the working process, the problem currently, they are students. So they're still they're school-going students. So we didn't want to disturb their academics currently. But with that being said, that it's work in progress. It's going to happen.
At some point it will happen.
And it is a good opportunity, because I think what we lack is exposure, because Swaziland has got quite a good talent. It's just the support and the exposure, then it will happen.
All right.
It will happen, all in good time.
Now, we're trying to get into the final details of the interview, but I think I've liked what you've alluded so far. Let's now look at the brand of the club, because when you talk about brands in the country, I think your team is one of the club with big brands in the country. Talk about your Swallows, Highlander, and the likes of now Singzin. But Moneni Pirates is up there also amongst the club with huge brand. In terms of your brand visibility, is there a plan? I know supporters sometimes, but they are supporters of the club. The outreaches going there. You want to do those outreaches. Brand visibility. Are you planning to work on that in the future to remind all those Moneni Pirates supporters that you are here to stay and the club is once again back?
Absolutely, thank you for that. I wasn't aware one of those big clubs that, yeah. So our marketing committee has already started mobilizing. We are going to branches. I think it's part of our vision. We've got we've just revived our main branch in Moneni. So we started in Moneni, that was last week, Sunday. I went there myself as well with the marketing team. And this Sunday they're number 1. So Moneni Pirates has got plenty of supporters. As I said at the beginning of the interview, that we're one of the biggest clubs in the country. So we're back mobilizing supporters. Will be doing vuselas, visiting all over the country. On Sundays, I say they're in Babana MDS, and then the next week we're planning to be in Peaks Peak, so that we are able to access, and also helps because we have been seen to be a notorious team when it comes to results, when we're not doing well, and so we need to engage them, make them understand that, look, we're rebuilding here, and don't expect anything outside of what we can do as a team. All we need from you guys is the support and help with the well-being of the team, because as we had spoken earlier, running a team in the country is not an easy task. It needs us to work together with the supporters. With the supporters. Absolutely.
Beautiful stuff. Now, talking about the brand of the club, I understand that we have a huge opportunity right now. Eswatini TV, if you're watching us live, this is your Monday edition of Libhola Eswatini, the company of Moneni Pirates club president, Mr. Tony Kaba, just to give us his vision of the club. 3 years' time, they want to be in cup competitions. They want to have attached players in England. They want to have their own training facility. They want to have achieved a lot, reaching all the corridors of the country and get more supporters. But now it's an opportunity for them once again, live here on Eswatini TV. You just don't get this every day. It only happens on your #1 channel. They are launching right now. I'm actually urging reporters also to get stories. So we're launching now. We're launching a new kit for the 2024-2025. May I suggest that you're already wearing the white? I will take the black. So may I give you the red one?
Absolutely.
So that So 3, 2, 1, let's go. This is the 2024-2025 Moneni Pirates. Maybe singaqala kuwe on your tight. That's the red. So you're wearing the white.
Yeah,
and
this
you're
is the
holding,
white.
Yeah. So you're wearing the white, which is the alternative kit.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
And then the white is the
Red.
The red is the attentive kit.
Yeah.
Then
Then there's
white.
away. And yeah. Then there's home.
The one I'm holding is the home kit. We're trying to see the elements on the kit. I think I can see the title sponsor, multi-purpose, the brand Umbro. Yeah, the Buccaneer sign I think is here. You can see
it's in the background. Yeah, it's basically the base.
Okay, in the background, yeah. So it's got to
So it was received last week. So these are part of the replicas. I'm sure in the next match we'll be already showcasing our new kit.
All right.
Yeah.
So I thought go for the next match.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the supporters and the fans will have an opportunity now to own their own replicas through the management committee and the marketing committee. They will get access to them, but they are here already.
Okay. Can you try to bring it in the middle? I think towards yes. I think the supporters want to see that. So the one you're holding right now, it's red. Are the prices?
It's not Swallows one. It's not a Swallows.
It's not a Swallow. No, it's the red black. It's the red. No, are the prices the same for the supporters?
Yes. It's going to be
how much each kit?
I'll leave it to the marketing
committee.
Yeah, because
they know the logistics.
They know the numbers and the logistics.
The logistics.
Yeah.
So if we were to talk about the tactile package, all three together, we're going to look at them on the screen, all three together. Like you said, the black one is the home kit, the white is away, and the red one, it's the alternative kit. Beautiful stuff. Yeah. Would you share the package cost, if there's anything in terms of this? Yeah.
As in price wise?
Yeah.
It was a good price.
It was a good price.
It was a good price.
But you wouldn't want to reveal the details.
No, it was a good price.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a good price.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tsama, for being in the studio. Maybe I want to let you go, but would you want to? I understand that the litres apparently it's around 500. So for the viewers, so yeah, these are the logistics that are coming from his team. That it's 500. Would you be interested in the near future to serve in the Exco or Executive or Premier League?
Yeah, when the time is right. Look, change is constant. It's also important to contribute positively to the sport. Soccer is a close sport to my heart. I play golf, but I enjoy soccer is a close sport to my heart. And definitely, when the time is right, there's no rush. We're still there for the long
Thank you very
term.
much, Mr. Tsama,
Thank you
for your time. Thank you very much. We love having you in the studio and the vision you have for the club.
Absolutely.
Keep up the good job.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Eswatini TV, this is your club president, the Moneni Pirates club president, that is Mr. Tony Tkaba, just giving us the vision of the club. For the entire 30 minutes, we just seated looking at the vision behind what he's trying to do. Not only has he launched the 2024-2025 kit for Moneni Pirates, but he's told us that in the near future, they're a team to watch. After the break, the national team, head coach Lugaruzic is in the studio. What's his secret for the recent success of the national team after this?
Everywhere. I mean, literally, it's the height of summer, and yet there's fire on the braai, fire under a pot, fire on top of the pot for some reason, probably a fire behind me.
You're gonna love this.
Celebrate a Christmas like no other with Spa. Get Spa 2-ply toilet rolls, 18s, for just $99.99, or 2 kg Sunlight hand washing powder for only $59.99.
Marvellous. Ugh.
Celebrate a Christmas like no other. No other. No other. No other.
you.
Yes, you. Have you paid your TV license?
Did you know that by paying for your TV license fees, you will be complying with the laws that govern television possession, in particularly the Swaziland Television Authority Act of 1983 and its regulations? It is a legal obligation.
Paying for your TV license can have a positive spin-off, as the money collected from TV license fees goes a long way in assisting Eswatini Television Authority procure appealing and relevant content to broadcast on the channel.
So now, these fees also increase purchasing of local content from independent producers, which helps ensure that the arts and film industry in the country is well supported thus far, ensures the creation of jobs for Emaswati. The payment of TV license fees goes a really long way in such endeavors as well as nation building.
A TV license costs 180 emalangeni per year per device, and for other accessories such as a decoder or njinja, it costs 50 emalangeni per device per year.
By paying for your TV license,
you will be doing the right thing.
Now, you're watching live your Monday edition of Libhola Eswatini. The full focus now is just to sit down and talk about some of the issues, positive-wise, that are currently being faced by our local football. Now, having ushered Tulani Kaba, the club president of Moneni Pirates, with those positive visions with the club, we now get a moment with the national team head coach, a very, very good man, and a friend to Emaswati. Look how lovely he is when he's on the ground in terms of training session. This is how he is. Mr. Lugorisic, all the way from Croatia, but now he's been in the kingdom for 2 months now, over 2 months. Mr. Lugorisic, starting up to welcome you for the first time you're in the studio of Eswatini TV. How are you, sir?
First, thank you for calling me.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
You're okay.
It's a nice studio.
Let's start with your name. I think journalists are still getting it difficult to pronounce your name.
It's very easy. It's very simple. Zdravko Logarušić.
Zvatko.
Zdravko.
Yeah.
Zdravko.
All right.
It's so easy.
It's so easy. Does it have a meaning?
Like a healthy man or something.
Healthy man.
Yes.
That's why Slango players are healthy now.
Oh, don't
now, let's talk about, you're from Croatia, you're born in Croatia.
Yes.
For the past 2 months, I've come to understand that when people ask you questions, you've got no problem answering. So, which I like. As a journalist, I like getting answers. So, you're born in Croatia. But apart from being born in Croatia, what's your history? Tell us about you being born. Where did you start being interested in football? Have you played football? When you're born, give us your short briefing.
So many questions.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very simple. Let's make it, I didn't play for national team.
Okay.
I played some lower league football, and very early I started to go in the school for the coaching, to become coach, and then I was one of the first, 1998 when Croatia was number 3 in the World Cup.
Okay.
FIFA gave to Croatia to produce, to have school for 25 coaches. That means they have to make selection from so many applicants, for not 23 coaches can be produced in 4 years. That means every 4 years Croatia can produce 23 UEFA Pro coaches to go for the school. If they finish, if they don't. I was the first generation which went for the school, and of 23 of us, only I was the one who didn't play national team or who didn't play Premier League.
The rest had played.
The rest of them, they were just very popular people in Croatia.
Coming from the likes of Dinamo.
That's right, yes, Dinamo, Hajduk and other clubs, Rijeka. Anyway, I finished it properly. My mentor was from Italian Football Federation. That means I like a bit more organized football.
Okay.
And after that, Croatia is a very small country. It's 3.5 million people.
Just like Eswatini, 1 point.
That's right. But for example, in Croatia, you have 3 things. People talk about politics, football, and women.
And
that's all right. That
that's
means
all right, yeah.
That's only 3 things. But Croatia is very, I don't want to glorify Croatia, but very small country. And for example, last season we have 325 players. They played Premier League in Europe. 325 Players, they played Premier League in Europe, outside of Croatia.
Including Luka Modric,
That's
Perisic,
right, all of them.
Mandzukic.
And most of the times when we finish number 2 or number 3 on the World Cup, last 3 World Cups, 2 World Cups in 1998, we have players from Juventus, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Valencia, Milan, and other clubs, big clubs, Marseille. That means most of our players, they usually play in big clubs.
So you got your UEFA Pro in the early 90s. That's what you just said.
That's something, I started school 2000 somewhere. 2000, but you couldn't get UEFA Pro license immediately, because when you finish all of those schools, or for example, I had 526 or 8 hours of theory.
Okay.
500 or something hours of theory. Here, maybe 5 years or 10 years ago, you can go for course in Egypt for 3 days and get license or something. Now it's much better in Africa then. But after, when you finish those things, then you 1 year you must have professional contract just to work with younger categories. That means just with juniors or cadets, players from under 12 to under 18. Then you must have 5 years of coaching experience to be professional coach in Premier Division. And after that, they will give you Euro Pro. But for example, when I finish, I had just Pro license. That's the maximum of education. But with the contracts in Premier League, you receive Euro Pro. That's like a doctor of football.
All right. Now, to fast forward, in the interest of time, you get probably your first job as a junior team, you coach them. But let's come to Africa now. The first African team or nation that you coached. When you were coaching now, fast forward 2020, 2015, 2017, 2020, the first African country you coached as a head coach.
Okay, they called me from Ghana, from nowhere. I was working in Ghana in 3 clubs, King Faisal. I took them from position, after 13 games, they had 9 points, or from 39. At the end, I finished 1 point behind top 4. Then I went to Ashanti Gold.
I know Ashanti Gold.
Yes, and they had position number 12 when I came. I finished number 2. And then after that, I left to Kenya. Gor Mahia was the last one. I finished number 2 again at the end of the league. Then I went to Simba, Tanzania. From position number 4 to position number 2, and I took a cup also in Kenya. I took what is the Challenge Cup, or how they call it, the winner of the cup and the winner of the league, Community Shield or something.
Shield, kick off the season,
Yes. Then I went to Angola, Interclube. After Angola, I went to Asante Kotoko again, back in Ghana, Premier League. After Asante Kotoko, Sudan national team 2 years. Sudan national team 2 years. I was coach there. I was number 3 in Chan 2018 in Morocco. Sudan was the lowest ranking team in that moment. I lost
bronze medal.
That's right, bronze medal. And I lost semi-final against Nigeria. And that semi-final was very interesting. I had 16 shots. They had only 1, and I lost 1-0.
Yeah,
that's right. Anyway, after that, Zimbabwe called me.
Zimbabwe
right. Yes, Zimbabwe. I qualified them for African Cup of Nations, 2021 in Cameroon. But when I qualified them, they changed me. They paid me and they changed me. They brought local coach. That's Africa.
After you give them the food, they say, thank you, you can't eat the food.
That's right. Yeah. And after that, I left to Saudi Arabia Premier League.
Saudi Arabia,
That's right, Premier League. 6 months I worked like director of development, and then last 6 months I worked as a head coach.
All right.
And then from somewhere, nowhere, I finished here.
All right. How did you get to know that there was a job application here that they looking
Something at? Came just you can write a book how those things sometimes just your life turned on this side or the other side from nowhere. You started to go there, and then you finish somewhere else. But that's football. Anyway, I'm here right now, and I was checking a bit national team, and I was seeing most of the times you lost with 1-0. Every game was very tight. That means the team is not so bad. You have to fix something to just in case if you lost 2-1, should be 2-2. If you lost 1-0, maybe should be 1-1. You know, and then a challenge came, and I said, okay, I was without job at that moment, and I said, okay, it's a national team, it's a small nation, nothing spectacular, but it's a challenge, and that's the reason why I picked it up.
Yeah, I remember that Friday, August somewhere. August, is it August 17 on Friday? I don't know. Yeah, it was raining, and you're entering Lobamba Technical Center, and I think when you came out of the car, the first question is, why are you here? Why are you here? I think that I was the first person to ask you, Coach, welcome. What are you enjoying in the kingdom? Now we're going to the national team, Sihlang. What are you enjoying here in the country? The people, are they good? The air, the neighborhood, everything, is it good?
I feel very comfortable.
Okay.
That means when I feel comfortable, I feel welcome. And just I don't have any fear or something. And people here on some way are very calm, very nice, you know.
Okay.
And then we come from different environment, and then result is everything. Pressure is always, you know. Sometimes in Europe, white boys are a bit funny because they live always under pressure. That's the reason why they have heart attack, brain attack, and everything. Those things are not existing here. Those people are very calm.
Okay.
They have lots of time. What is making me nervous? Tomorrow, I need now. But anyway, I try. When you come in Rome, you have to act like you are from Rome.
Okay.
Rome.
Now, you get into the team. Quickly, in the interest of time, you start training them. When you got a chance with the team, yes, with the assistant of the assistant coach, you call the teams. Seemingly, you've been calling a sort of similar players. I remember we had a chat. You were telling me that coach has told you that Scott, the player you're talking to on the screen, apparently he's been in his best physique since ever you've known him. What have you seen? What are we good at? Do we have good physique? What did you have to work on to develop them? What did you change in them when you started working with them?
So many things you can change, and so many spaces are here for improvement. Improvement also can come from federation, because to make better improvement and to bring more knowledge in this country, you must have more money. That means federation has to find a way to find more sponsors, more money, and then with a bit more money, everything can go a bit more on the professional level. What I realized when I came here, I was positively surprised. I didn't expect lots of talents here. Then when I came and when I went to watch few games, I said, "Oh, this is not what I thought. Will be much easier than I expected." Then only what I have to do, I don't know, do you remember, or maybe somebody wrote, first month and a half, I was just traveling all around country, watching all of those games, left and right, putting some names, trying this, trying that. And at the end, I think, how time is going by, you know, we are coming somewhere closer where we should be. What is very necessary here? I am very sure you have lots of talented coaches here. But the problem is, this is on some way poor country, not poor country like poor country. I think federation or government, they have to find a way how to help those coaches with the talent to have education somewhere outside and bring knowledge back here. That's very important.
Okay.
That means you couldn't, the knowledge,
Germany,
you must go somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing in Sudan. Every 6 months I took 2 coaches, help them to go out, and federation pay. They spend with the clubs for 2 or 3 months or month and a half to see how things are going, how things are working. Then they came and they pick up the knowledge. The knowledge is what we need here.
Okay. So I think the games that you were mainly in charge, because the game before Mozambique was it Guinea-Bissau. You're not really in charge because you had to join them when they're playing. But the game that you were in charge as the coach, this was the first game where you played a draw against Mozambique. Oof, by the way, this young man talks highly of you. You know, Tubelife, I did ask him a question. He said, you have improved him. You have improved him as a player. This was your first game. And then you went on, of course, to lose the second one. And then you've won the 2 CHAN games against Zimbabwe. What do you think now you've changed in the players to act better? Because when you came, maybe there are problems. What are they doing better, especially in these last 2 games? Against Zimbabwe away and this past weekend at home. What did you do right to get the results?
You know, it's first you have to. I'm not magician, I'm just a coach and human being. First, you have to observe properly. to see the problem, and then you have to solve the problem. That means without proper observation, you couldn't do nothing. If you jump in the wrong train on the wrong, that means every station will be wrong.
Yeah.
That means when you come to the first station, when you jump in the wrong train, go back, because later will be more expensive ticket to come back. That's something if I couldn't explain. What I try to improve, I try to improve the game without ball.
Without the ball?
Without ball. That means I don't even care what you can do with the ball.
Okay.
Because all of them are ball players.
Okay.
All of them are skillful. All of them they can eat ball for breakfast.
Okay.
For example, if you look for the player from 1 to 10, how good with the ball they are. They are good maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10, depends some of them.
Okay.
But in the game without ball, they are number 2 or number 3. That means it's a big gap of their quality in the game without ball in their legs and the game with the ball. That means I try to close that gap, and now I try to improve them how to play game without ball.
Okay.
And to play game without ball, you have to run and think in the same time.
Okay.
And you have, I'm asking some questions, some things which usually coaches are not asking them maybe here. Not because they don't know or something. All of us, we have different philosophy, what we have to do. And when I see the problem, I realized I couldn't teach those boys how to make a shot, how to make dribbling, or how to make a cross, because already they know those things. But I can teach them to, they have headache here.
Okay.
Because the pressure is here. I'm working, I have to work on their brain. That means individual tactic, group tactic, and team tactic. That's what I'm trying to do. They must understand the game, they must understand the idea, and they have to make right decision in the right time during running.
Okay.
Some players, they run, but they couldn't think in the same time.
Okay.
Some players, they think, but they couldn't run. And you have players which can run and think in the same time.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to put inside to implement in national team, to let us run and think in the same time. After 90 minutes, you must feel very tired here, not only in your legs. And I try to make with them a unit. That means to make it.
Coach, you in this moment, you're telling them, that's what you're telling them, just tactics.
Tactics is that's what I'm pushing. What I'm pushing for them. Why this, why that, what you have to do when the ball is left, the ball is in the middle, ball on the front, ball on opposite side, ball in attacking area, ball defensive area, how to create extra numbers. But look at that, most of them are very focused. Look at it, check. Sometimes we coaches, we talk and players are doing something, but like look at most of them, they are focused, because during those things, my job is to see. I live from my eyes, then I check what's going on. Are they focused or not? But they are okay.
Who is the most player that is impressing you so far? Progress?
No, I couldn't say who made progress, because I don't know how they played before. But they said to me, for example, Junior is a completely different player than before. Junior was making sliding tackles, receiving yellow cards, running up and down. Even Scully last game, did you see how many kilometers he was running? Then what his name? It's very hard to play with Taiga and Sifiso, because they like lots of freedom. And then we are not giving them lots of freedom. And then we brought Xavi back, and then Rio from nowhere also, he gave us a good game. Even last game he gave us good game. But Rio is, for example, now we talk about Rio. Rio is the player who knows how to read the game. He reads game nicely. And then most of those boys, their problem why they are here is only because no one saw them. No one will come in this league to watch how you play Green Mamba against this or that. You must come internationally. When you come international, they will see you. That's what I said to them. Let us come for Chan. You will see after how many of you will finish anywhere. Because they just must see you. But they couldn't see you in this league.
Okay. Coach, I want to let you go. I love that. I love the fact that you even know their names. You know Xavi, you know this. I like that, Coach. Can you take us to Chan, Coach? We've got Madagascar in the way. I know AFCON, it's a dream gone. We can't even blame you. You found the competition mid-through. Can you take us to Chan before I let you go?
Chan, we couldn't promise nothing, but I can say one thing. That's the reason why I came here. to everywhere where I came, most of the times I made some history or something. For example, in Sudan, they finished number 3 in bronze medal. In what is named Zimbabwe, I was the first coach outside of Zimbabwe who qualified them for something. Am I right? For those clubs, I was bringing from position number 12 to 2, from position number this or that.
So you will create history
that
now.
That means we will go up there. We have to organize proper team. We have proper team here. I think with piece of luck, we are not very far. They have 40 million people. From 40 million people, they are choosing a player. That means from 2 million people, they will choose a player. Because you have 40 million, 20 players. From 2 million people, they choose a player. We have here only for 20,000 people, not 20,000. If you take 20, that means about 40,000 people. Can you imagine? From 40,000, 45,000, we choose a player. They choose player to play for national team from 2 million. But anyway, game is 90 minutes. We have 2 games. Those boys, they will not disappoint. No.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. I know you've been watching the league. You've been following. One word, I have to let you go. Who do you think will win the league this season?
But usually, who is positioned run number 1 right now? They lost 1-0 last game. And my goalkeeper failure was this or that. But it's always you have those 3 top clubs there, left and right. Depends how things will go. But what is my suggestion is when I spoke with the league must be 16 clubs or 14 clubs is too much for this league.
Okay.
That means first, if you have 14 clubs, 30 players, that means you have 420 players. Do you have 420 players in Swaziland to play Premier League? That means you must go like Croatia for 10 clubs, and then from the quantity you have to do quality. Then those 420 players, they will come in 200 players. That means we must have better competition, better big games, and cut the numbers of the team, and will be much better because this is going nowhere with 1 million people. Italy is 18 clubs, 65 million people. Germany is 80 clubs, 80 million people. France is 75 million people, they have 16 clubs. And 16 clubs you have for 1.2 million people. Just let's try to think about future. Let's maybe from next year after, go down with the clubs to put quality there.
Coach, how I wish we had another more 1 hour to talk about this. But thank you very much for your presence. And as a friend of Eswatini TV sports team, we always rely on you when you want analysis and information. Thank you very much. And once again, congratulations to the work you're doing. We can't wait to see what you'll be doing against Madagascar. The upcoming FIFA week will be against Guinea-Bissau and Malawi, so we can't read into much that because we're out. But for Chan, we're waiting to see what you're going to do against Madagascar.
We're not out. We will
do something.
We will do what we have to do. We are not out. We are out like in theory, but the game is on, and then we're gonna chase result.
All right, beautiful stuff. Thank you very much, Coach. That is the national team Stefan Semnigati head coach Zdravko Lugaruzic, our Croatian mentor, who is now based in the kingdom. He's actually enjoying the kingdom because they say Swazis are friendly and they are calm. They mind their own business. He likes that. And thank you very much for your job, for what you're doing for the country. Up next, we are just going shortly to have our in-house analyst in Delta Mini before we round up tonight's activities of Libhola Eswatini after the break. Now, we're up against time, we are leaving, but before we leave, this man is in the studio. I want to give him the time to talk about what happened today. Ngiyathi kusikona afuna kusho, ngabe ngiyamkhulula, but he wants to say something. Nalithuba ngosinguvusela uphindze ungene ehlelweni.
Fabrice, maybe ngivusele maluyal viewers, maybe just to round up ku laba bakushito kuqala president walo licembu leMoneni Pirates mina Mr. Thulan Xaba akhuluma ngayo Moneni Pirates. I think the bigger picture kuthatha lelicembu leMoneni Pirates libuye back ku ema glory days nakulumingisa ke Africa la kuta bese kumaketheka khona abadlali but lokujabulisa kakhulu le partnership lababe nayo nakufika former Everton player Yakubu wase Nigeria kuthi ngenteka kusibonela abanye bebadlali bahamba baya khona overseas ngicabanga ukuthi lokho iMoneni Pirates inabalandzeli abanyente kakhulu nasikhuluma ngeBig Four sikhuluma ngeMoneni Pirates sikhuluma ngeManzini Wanderers sikhuluma ngeMbabane Highlanders sikhuluma ngeMbabane Swallows so lokho ngicabanga ukuthi ngumgogodla noma ngile backbone yayo ibhola yaseSwatini if onke lama teams lawo kungendeki nakulokwendeka kulamanye ama teams onke lama teams lawo nensingizinto seyingenile if those teams lengikhuluma ngawo lanebalandzeli la ekhaya akhona kumarket ibhola yakithi akhona kuthengisa abadlali sitawukhona ukuthi i-national team
ukuthi ikit yabo injani nje.
Moneni Pirates, I think Moneni Pirates ngicabanga ukuthi the kit lihle kakhulu man lihle kakhulu ngithanza nange white mina lapha kagcoke nguye president yeah ungichaza kakhulu ushilo wathi akusimba bona Swallows leya akusimba bona Highlanders le
ngicabanga something ukuthi bayabangana nje as ma big teams.
Yeah ngicabanga ukuthi kodwa nawubuka vele because as one of my big teams le khala lincane kumele libe khona featuring lamanye teams but nje Fabrice lelo ngisho ukuthi the teams lengiwasho mina abese angeta ku national team naku national head coach usuka la Lukarosic I think naye mhlambe le timvo lafika tifaka la kule team ngicabanga ukuthi ukhuluma kakhulu ngema tactics ukuthi
uyamove in master team but
no ngiyamuva Fabrice yeah ngiyamuva I think let's give him time simnike lesikhathi simsupport nalabadlali le attitude because kulesinye isikhathi uyayithola ukuthi labanye badlali bete ne-attitude ku-national team ayiphumi le-attitude bete bate ukuthi bete kutosebenza ku-national team balalele bavazame kwenta ngaleyo ndlela leyo because lesinye isikhathi nakafika umuntu nama-tactics lamasha uthola ukuthi lo mnye umuva athi ayi asimuva thine lo mvulo but once walalela watama kwenta le ndvo leyo uthola ukuthi utakusita look at Moneni Pirates na ukhuluma namenzi akhuluma ngacoach Christopher Enini uthi kuningi lakushintshile kimi kwathi ngawuthi ngishintshile attitude bese ngiyalalela uyangisita ngiya-improve igame yami otherwise cabanga ukuthi Fabrice for our local football kuningi lesingakhuluma ngako kuleli hlelo leli
memdzingela lokho nje ukuthi asuke le lacamka khona ekhaya kibo ngisengikhohle nje ukusho ukuthi ekhaya kibo nguphi but singiyakhumbula eChendlovu yes asuke le eChendlovu asichazele kulo 2 minutes ukuthi what's his take on the two guests we had in the studio until we meet again on Thursday because he's going to be here now for full details of the Temidlalo edition on Thursday until we meet again the entire crew the entire Eswatini TV that brought you live the Monday edition of Libhola Eswatini uyazi mos sihlala kamnandi.